We've been listening on the call. One of the things Mark Zuckerberg just threw out, 500 million people are watching video on Facebook every day. Corey, I mean, the numbers seem insane.
The numbers are big. You know, Facebook's like China, right? The number's always big. It's just a question of what it is. So, but you start to think about that, 500 million views a day. Okay, you've got about 2 billion people on the site. 60-some% of them use it every day. So you extrapolate that to be about, you know, the 500 million number is big. It shows that video is successful on Facebook, to be sure, but that's less than the people that are on Facebook. So everyone on Facebook isn't watching videos every day, but there are just so many numbers, so many people, that it gets to be a big number.
And what's interesting is that the growth in advertising isn't hurting user growth and user engagement at all. And in fact, I will admit, I never click on ads, and I am starting to click on video ads on Facebook. I'm like, hey, I want that Kate Spade.
Well, you don't have to click on an ad for it to work, right? I mean, that's why billboards exist. That's why ads are in the back of the newspaper.
I'm watching video ads on Facebook.
Yeah, it's you know, I think they've found a niche where, you know, they can really get engaging ads on Facebook and get you to click through. And, you know, that 500 million people watching videos on Facebook, that's about 4 videos per person per day. So 8 billion video views per day. That's up almost 100% from the last time they reported that number a couple of quarters ago.
And we've been listening on the call, Mark Zuckerberg talking a little bit about China, how China's already a huge ad market for them. Let's take a listen.
People think that Facebook isn't in China at all, and that's actually not true. Our consumer service isn't active there, but it actually is already one of the biggest advertising markets that we have, because there are a lot of really big and important Chinese companies who sell a lot of products to people outside of China. And they use Facebook as one of their primary tools in a lot of cases to spread information about what they're doing and grow their customer base.
David, you've been listening in. What's your big takeaway here?
Well, China is always a fascinating topic when it comes to Facebook. Obviously, they want to get in there for the consumers as well as the ad sales. One thing that I thought was a stunning statistic is that their mobile-only users are creeping up to almost half of their total users. You know, a company, and not only that, but their mobile ads are 78% of their total ads. So, you know, a company that when it went public not very long ago was very much faced with questions about whether it could actually succeed in mobile advertising is now becoming more and more a mobile-only company. It's incredible.
Right. When Facebook went public, it had effectively zero mobile ad revenue. I want to talk a little bit about spending, because I did talk to Dave Wehner about that, and he said, look, spending's not going to slow down. We obviously benefit from a great business with solid margins, but we are investing aggressively in the future. We're not giving specific guidance on 2016 spending at this point, but we continue to see great opportunities to invest. So he's talking here about, you know, virtual reality, internet.org. What's that? Well,
and he's probably even more talking about capital expenditures, marketing expenses, research and development costs, which you mentioned. You know, and you can see in the user growth reacceleration. So user growth, it's a function of size, right? They've got nearly 2 billion, over 2 billion people on the site. You'd think user growth would slow down. It's not. On a sequential basis, you've actually seen a liftoff of user growth, which had slowed down to 2.5% back in September of last year. That went to 3.2 to 3.4. Now it's at 3.7%. So a reacceleration of user growth at the same time that we see them actually seeing a big change, a fall at Twitter, right, when there's no user growth in the U.S. whatsoever. You can see the benefit of those spend at Facebook.
Dave Wehner, though, telling me, you know, no plans to monetize WhatsApp based on it approaching a billion users. Right. Instagram, he wouldn't comment specifically on how much it's contributing, but he said, pleased with the products, though still focused on user growth. Neil, what's there to be concerned about here?
Yeah, you know, if they really go into a very deep investment cycle, we can see margins really collapse. Think of this as maybe doing, you know, an Amazon, for example, you know, just multi-year, multi-big investment cycle. That could be the real risk. So far, they've proven that they can be very targeted in how they spend and very prudent in how they spend. We do expect margins to come down next year again, but given the opportunities that Facebook has, I think they really need to invest.
Now, David Wehner telling me, I asked him if Facebook could ever go the way of Alphabet with these, you know, this approach that Zuckerberg has of a family of mobile apps, and he said, look, we have a completely different approach. David, you know, what are you looking at for the future? What do you see as the main challenges, and opportunities?
I just think, honestly, challenges are not what I focus on primarily, because this is a company for the long term. Zuckerberg is one of the great long-term thinkers in the history of business. You know, they talk about they don't want to monetize their subsidiary businesses until they get to 1 billion users each. WhatsApp is getting close to that. You know, capital expenditures, yeah, maybe if you're a trader for the short term, you're going to worry about that kind of thing. But this is a company you should hold for the long term, because these guys have growth plans that are monumental, that involve the entire planet, and their execution is proving time after time, quarter after quarter, to be exemplary. It's astonishing how good they are running this business.